Oh, yeah. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Cisco Scotty. Cisco, Scotty, Sid, whatever y'all want to call me. Hey, man. Hey, all right, we just watched Michael Rappaport talk a whole bunch of crap about LeBron, even though he did say that it was going to be the Lakers and the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. And, you know, Skip, in his true LeBron hating fashion, said no, they're going to be an A seed. And they're going to get swept by the Warriors. I don't think that's going to happen, but it is what it is. But, hey, y'all probably been hearing everything, bro, about Carmelo and CP3. Carmelo being a Rocket next year? Hey, it might happen. But, hey, first I want to say I did record a video for y'all last night, bro. I couldn't get the sound worked out. It was about So and his girl, Ash, about her getting a tattoo on her arm of him, bro. Hey, it is what it is. She ain't, you know, in like 3 weeks, bro, and I already got a tattoo. She either crazy or she really in love with it, and then I'm gonna go with the first one. But it is what it is. But let's check this out, man. They talking about the Rockets determined to sign Carmelo Anthony, bro. Is it gonna happen? I mean, Ariza gone, and CP3, like, he done kind of messed up the money for like Clint Capella taking his max deal. So we gonna see. Let's see what they gotta say, bro. Let's see what they gotta say.
Yesterday, people around the league believe that he's gonna end up a Houston Rocket. The issue with Carmelo Mike D'Antoni was he was never a Mike D'Antoni kind of player. When he went from Denver to the Knicks, he was about bully ball, isolation, 18 feet away, face up, jab, jab, dribble, all of that. That's not Mike D'Antoni. But I think now,
I think people might be surprised when you think about D'Antoni and the type of players
the Rockets don't play no defense, but
they think it's all offense, no defense.
Yeah.
So Melo would be perfect, but the way Melo scores,
as not an efficient three-point shooter. Now last year he made 169.
And ball stopper.
Ball stopper. That won't work. And at 34 years old, in the twilight of his career, now he can sit down with Chris Paul, who you know I've said is advocating for him to be there. And Chris Paul can say, Melo, this is what we need. You're a microwave. You come off the bench. You play a role. Spread the floor. But you cannot be pounding the ball into the pavement like you did in Denver and with the Knicks to an even more degree. So to me, with Mike D'Antoni, he's not a guy that holds grudges. Bro. He's a guy that was ahead of his time. When he shepherded in this new system, that was way ahead of his time. Carmelo was not committed to that style of basketball, but now I think he can be.
I think that given what's happened with Trevor Ariza going to the Suns, yesterday's development,
Raptors
our boy Luka Sharp, Famute, decides to go to the Clippers. Yeah, Nick, I got it right.
You got it.
Yeah, as soon as he gets traded.
As soon as he gets traded to a team we'll never talk about again.
Right, Cameroon Prince, thank you.
There you go.
That's a lot.
Now, these pop-ups?
The space that's available in the lineup for Melo, to me, it's more advantageous for him to go there now compared to looking at the wing players they had. My biggest problem is going to be the buy-in defensively, because that's what I saw from these other players. I saw their stars, Chris Paul, Harden, Ariza, all these guys sacrifice everything, offense, but more on the defensive end. And they played, if you can be a Houston team that play defense on a rope, they played on a rope as much as I've seen that collection of players play on a rope.
I agree with you,
that
but I credit 3 guys primarily.
Because it ain't like...
I think if you have Capella, P.J. Tucker, and Chris Paul playing big minutes, you're going to have a good defense. Chris Paul, even at this age, one of the best...
But if you don't have the buy-in switching, especially in the Western Conference, that's the problem.
You're dead.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You have to. The guys have to buy into it. I agree with that. But they don't have to be naturally gifted defenders. Eric Gordon ain't.
Everything they saying is targeted toward the Warriors. Am I right? Mostly toward the Warriors, because they talking about the switching. Most people ain't got to deal with that unless you're playing with the Warriors. You know what I'm saying?
No great defender. But he bought in. So you're right that Melo has to buy into it.
I mean, there's a couple of teams, but
guys
mostly
they're so underrated they become overrated.
The way the ball
moves
in the West, I feel you, but
Melo, his last couple years
mostly
in
with
New
the
York
Warriors
was an overrated
Warriors winning
player.
that shit,
I remember that NBA rank thing came out, and Melo was, I don't know, I think he was like 27th, and people were, oh, are you kidding me? And that was about right. And so at one point he was overrated, and now I think
who in the East gonna stop the Warriors if they make it to the finals? Who in the East gonna stop the Warriors? Right now, I don't even know if Houston or gonna even be able to stop them with bro, that team like.
Or in the other direction. Because I'm going to bring up another guy that could go to any team this offseason and will go to some, and he'll be signed for around the money that Melo's going to end up signing for, off the bench scorer, and no one's going to say one bad word about him. Jamal Crawford.
I knew you were going to say that.
Jamal Crawford, by the way, last year shot the same percentage from the field as Melo, shot a worse percentage from three, ain't no defender. And Jamal Crawford, because he is properly rated, and you know what you're getting with him, you'd be like, oh, he could be a good bench
Jamal
option.
Crawford knows where he's rated.
Yes,
I think the problem is Carmelo doesn't see himself the way the rest of the league sees him.
And he doesn't guard anybody. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. That's why he couldn't play in the playoffs. Forget the fact that he goes 0 for 9 in Game 7 versus Utah. He couldn't guard anybody. And so my thing with the Rockets last year was the first time under D'Antoni, and really for the Rockets, they go top 10 defensive efficiency. That was a big difference and a big boost for them. If Carmelo goes there and he's not willing to guard anybody, what are we talking about? He can't be on the floor.
Well, Liz, I guess maybe I think people evolve, and even if they don't go through some cataclysmic change, I think sometimes drastic life events can help you take a step back. Melo being waived for the first time in his basketball life. Melo seeing an enormous...
Wait.
Yeah.
They gave him $28 million to go home.
Yeah.
Well, they're about to,
He wasn't waived, bro.
Well,
They're paying him to leave.
Give me 28 million. I'm going to the house.
Being waived is, right?
Go to the house.
Being waived is you ain't getting paid.
Well,
that's a setback.
That's the okay, sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Bought it.
28 million. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house right now.
That's more to my point. We would rather, and a lot of this has to do with luxury tax.
They ain't gonna see me no more.
We have to pay you this money no matter what. We're better off without you than with you. Is what Melo is going to be receiving.
Need more, want more.
Also, he's going to be, for the first time in his basketball career, being teamed with a guy that he, I don't want to say looks up to, but that he looks even eye to eye with, and that he has such respect for in Chris Paul if he does go to Houston. And he is, for the first time, I believe, staring at his basketball mortality. He knows that if wherever I go next it doesn't work, I'm done. And so if that doesn't make you go through some type of adjustment, then nothing will. Now, you're hesitant about if he can adjust. Like, if a guy can go through that type of
What was last summer, Nick?
Last summer was, last summer
he should have had the same attitude that you're talking about
Probably.
right now.
No, because last summer it wasn't an insult. Last summer was an exciting moment for him. Oh, I'm going to a contender. I am a part of a big three. Last summer, people were talking.
What? Hey, even me, y'all know me. I was like, ooh, the Thunder, blah, 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 blah. And then
about the Thunder as if they could be free.
He can trick himself to think the same thing now. He's really on a contender now. OKC was not a contender.
I mean, they're a Chris Paul potentially hamstring away from winning a championship. And so Carmelo, if he were to come here, he has to not only accept, but embrace that role. Because that's the only way this thing can work. And that, going back to yesterday's point about Team USA Melo, that's the only Melo that works with
kind of
Houston.
60-40
Catch and shoot threes, don't put the ball on the deck, and certainly cannot play bully ball.
Listen, last year, there was a ton of excitement in Oklahoma City. There was with the three of them. But 3/4 of the way through the season, when it wasn't working, and they were like, okay, Melo might have to come off the bench, he didn't want to do that. Remember, we kept talking about it.
He's a starter, bro.
He didn't like his playing time being reduced. He didn't want to do it when it was for the betterment of the team. So now you're going to a situation where you're going to have to,
for whatever it's worth,
I
I don't think that's accurate. I don't think they ever floated taking him off the bench during the season. It was floated at a press conference by a reporter before the season.
Yes.
And he dismissed it. I don't think they ever went to him.
And based on them having the roster that they had, it didn't make sense. You go to a stock team.
Bro, I want to be an NBA reporter. I want to go up and talk to these dudes and talk to the locker rooms and get the scoops,
look at their
bro.
roster
That's what I want.
And them not have a better small forward than me and say, you know something? I think I should be a bench player. No, that would be ridiculous. But I would be more comfortable if Ariza and them was still there and he was coming to Houston as a bench player because I believe he's a liability if he is
Ariza being gone. Ariza at the defense. And
I really, and you guys know this, I really trust the Rockets.
People like KD
Daryl
and
Morey
LeBron
and those
and
people.
all that
I also
now.
think, I really trust Chris Paul. I do not think they're not desperate. No. I do not think they will sign Carmelo Anthony unless they have had all these discussions, unless they are in full agreement on everything about it. Oklahoma City last year was desperate. Oklahoma City thought, man, if we don't, we've got Russ, we've got to try to contend as much as possible. Now that we've got Paul George, let's see what we can do. And they bring in Melo, and it doesn't work out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll turn out that Melo's done. That Melo, that year 14 was his last productive year. But I don't think that'll be the case.
I'm going to go on record as this. If Chris Paul, in his conversation, talking to Carmelo Anthony, makes him play some defense, it'll be the first time in NBA history that your buddy talked you into playing some D. Because I have never seen it happen.
And they lose in Bamute and Ariza, two of their best defenders, most versatile defenders.
I'm telling you, that's why.
But here's this with
Carmelo.
Carmelo.
They ain't gonna
Chris
be
Paul
able to
and
play
Harden,
them.
they were able to come together and embrace the fact that they wouldn't always have the ball. Specifically, Paul playing off the ball to a degree, letting Harden work. Carmelo's never done that. So again, it's something he really has to do differently. And I don't know if he's there yet.
What you talking about? He did that last year. That's all he did was sit over there and wait for the ball. He didn't have the ball in his hands, and he wasn't like he was in Denver and New York, bro. So it ain't the first time. He had to do it last year. A lot last year. I mean, yeah, they say it right there, 16.1 points per game, bro. Anyway, hey, I had to get y'all some videos, man. I'm sorry. I said this in the other video that y'all not gonna see that had some stuff going on. Didn't get a chance to sit down and make videos this whole last week, man. So I apologize, but hey, let's do this thing, man. If y'all like the video, like, subscribe, and share. And hey, 2 of them for y'all right there. You know what I'm saying? Get them out to y'all as soon as I can. Y'all know what it is. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Say it out. Yeah.
Dedicate and give your all when your back's against the wall. You supposed to shine. 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 You supposed to shine.